Hello ladies and gentlemen, Tevaron here and welcome back to some more Magic Arena gameplay. Today we're going to be putting a mono-red experimental frenzy through its paces. First of all, a bit of a disclaimer, Red Aggro is not generally a style of deck I enjoy playing, so I can guarantee I will be making more mistakes than usual. Apologies in advance. Also, it's good to play decks that are outside your wheelhouse for a number of reasons. You can better understand how a deck runs by playing it, which means you can also better understand how to play against it. Also, it's helpful if you're being frustrated by a particular deck or archetype that seems to just be dominating you. You can see from that side's perspective that it's generally not as one-sided as it may have been feeling, and how certain situations are more tenuous than they might have seemed. This is also useful knowledge to have when trying to gain incremental advantages in future matches. So this is at its core a fairly standard aggro deck, but it has a bit more reach in late game thanks to Experimental Frenzy, which allows us to play cards off the top of our deck. To help out in this endeavor, we have Runaway Steamkin and Dismissive Pyromancer. Steamkin can generate a nearly constant stream of mana and is otherwise a great threat, while Pyromancer can clear a troublesome card from the top of our deck to help us continue to go off, and even without a frenzy in play can help us dig for more gas or function as a removal spell in a pinch. The rest of the deck is fairly standard as Red Aggro goes. Get to Lava Runner and Fanatical Firebrand in the 1-drop slot. The Ashino Pyromancer at 2. There are a lot of fire mages in this deck, aren't there? And Goblin Chain Whirler at 3. The rest of the deck is Burn. Shock, Lightning Strike, and Wizard's Lightning serve as our removal, or can also function as reach to deal the last few points of damage to your opponent's face. Add in some basic mountains, and you've got a spicy little cocktail. In the sideboard, we have more removal for creature-heavy strategies. Lava Coil has the added bonus of exiling its target, while Fight with Fire lines up extremely well against threats like Lyra Dawnbringer, and if the game goes on long enough, can also serve as a finisher. And Fiery Cannonade helps against go-wide strategies like tokens. Banefire, Legion War Boss, and Risk Factor give us a bit more game versus controlling strategies, while Siege Gang Commander comes in when we want to go a bit more mid-rangey. And that's it, my friends. Play little red dudes and turn them sideways. So let's do some of that, shall we? This hand is okay. We need at least one more land to really get going, but we're on the draw, so we have a little bit of leeway to draw that. I think we keep this. Yeah, we're going to try this out. Right, red from the opponent as well. At least we can play that shock if we don't draw a land. Hopefully we do draw the land, though. We'll lead off with the Firebrand and start getting in there. Looks like opponent may have a shock. Yep, they do. Very wisely waited until after we attacked with it. That way we couldn't tap and sack it to deal a damage to them anyway. And Steamkin from them, so it looks like it is indeed the mirror. We did not draw a land, unfortunately, and we have to kill this thing. It gets out of hand really quickly. Need lands, please, deck. I know I kept a 1-land hand, but sometimes you have to do that and hope. Guttersnipe. Okay, so no, this is the Mimi sort of deck with this, the Wall, and the Phoenix, Arclight Phoenix. Maybe, anyway. I guess we'll see. Opponent down to 3 cards in hand. Hopefully it's nothing, maybe more lands. 3 more lands, that's what we want the opponent to be holding. And we finally hit a land, awesome. Let's go for Lava Runner and Firebrand, both of them hasty. And try to get in there. Alright, looks like Lava Runner may be dying. And it is. Full price for Wizard's Lightning. Pyromancer. Hitting us in the face for 2. And Banefire, so that we can't kill their Pyromancer with our Fanatic there. I think we just go Dismissive Pyromancer here. Again, a 3rd land turns on Chain Whirler. We do eventually want to get to 4 for Experimental Frenzy if we live that long. It is even worth considering firing off a block here, but the opponent's not even going to give us that option, so that takes the decision-making away from us. They thought it likely enough that we might block. Flame of Keld. Okay, so this is not quite what I thought it was. So they're going to draw 2 extra cards. I think we're going to pass. We may fire off this Lightning Strike, but I'd like to see if they play something more threatening first. Well, there's a land. We'll take the 2 here. If they play a Steam Canal, we definitely want to kill that. They didn't, so we're going to go ahead and strike this. Would love to draw a land. We didn't know that was coming, otherwise we would have waited for the Chain Whirler. Either way, that needs to get into play. And we could be in for a ton of damage this turn. Looks like they may be going to kill our Chain Whirler. They are. So a little bit less damage could be coming our way here. Alright, land and Pyromancer, so taking 4. Land off the top. Our 4th Frenzy. Ha deck, very ha. Risk factor. Well, we're gonna take the 4. And we're probably just dead. This just took way too long. I guess just in case we'll play out a Frenzy. If by some miracle we live until next turn. But we don't. Good game. Yeah, we'll just let it kill us. Yeah, that was super unfortunate. I feel like we were favored in that game if we just hit our land drops. But again, we kept a 1-land hand, so probably should have been expecting that. We may want Fiery Cannonade here. Every creature they played potentially dies to it. I mean, the Steamkin may not. Siege Gang Commander seems okay. Lava Coil is definitely coming in. And I think we'll bring in 2 Cannonades. And then we're going to cut Wizard's Lightning. We can't always cast it for the single red. And I would like to keep the Lightning Strikes and Shocks, so we'll take out those. We'll give that a whirl. Alright, this is a much better hand. We will definitely be keeping this. And get on the board with the Firebrand. Go swinging. And Firebrand dying again. Shivan Fire, okay. That looks like one of their sideboard cards. We'll play out our Dismissive Pyromancer. Hopefully it will survive to do some work. Right. Their own sort of Pyromancer. Different species, though. Well, we're going to go ahead and shock this thing. And we can get into damage. It might be better just to discard a mountain, though. I think we're going to loot. Or rummage, as this version of the ability is actually called when you discard first. And we are rewarded. Sadly, we don't have the instants and sorceries to give this haste in the graveyard yet. But it's perfectly fine. Another Pyromancer. Taking a bit more damage there. And looks like they're thinking about killing our Pyromancer. And they are. Alrighty. Well, I was going to say I hate to use a lava coil on that, but we're not going to have to because Chain Whirler was kind enough to enter the fray. Alright, opponent has a lot more cards in hand than we do. There's a Steamkin. We should be able to deal with that, though. Chain Whirler dying, Steamkin growing. This lava coil has Steamkin's name written on it. And a Pyromancer. That's all perfectly fine. I feel like we're in good shape at this point. Start piling on the damage here. Alright, Flame of Kel. That could be real good for the opponent. Risk factor in the yard. We'll go ahead and discard that. Get in there for 4. So 2 extra cards this turn. Alright, going ahead and flash him back, or jump starting rather, risk factor. We will take the 4 damage. Don't want you to draw a bunch more cards with this thing going off next turn. Fanatical Firebrand's okay. So unless we die or they mitigate some damage, we have them dead next turn. I mean, that's a lot of ifs for sure, especially with extra damage coming from Flame of Kel this turn. They only have 2 cards left, so we're going to take 4. So they need to kill something still or they're dead. Alright, Wizard's Lightning there, so they're not just dead. Strike that. They're just dead. Thank you for coming to the party, Pyromancer. Good game, opponent. Alright. This sideboard plan seems perfectly fine. We're going to go ahead and resubmit. Alright, this is definitely keepable. Hopefully our Steamkin can survive to get a little big. And it's not got a 1-drop, which is perfectly fine by me. We'll go ahead and play out our Lava Runner. Looks like Lava Runner's probably biting the dust. Yep, eating a shock. Something coming? Pyromancer? Sure. Well, this opens our Steamkin up to removal, but I think we still need to get it out. If it doesn't die, we get to start taking over the game next turn. We are definitely not blocking. Electrostatic field, so they are running this thing. Alrighty then. Second Steamkin's great. See if our opponent's willing to block. If we have a shock, we get to kill their electrostatic field, which we don't, but they don't know that. Alright, not willing to take the risk. So that's a nice little free 2 points of damage there we wouldn't have had otherwise. Alright, well, bigger Steamkin's dying now, taking some incidental damage from electrostatic field. This thing could be a real problem for us if we don't get to snowballing really quickly here. No blockers. Down to 13. They're stuck on 2, which is potentially really good for us. So let's go for Pyromancer. Trigger our Steamkin. Well, looks like they're killing it now. Probably should have just gone ahead and killed it previously, but that's fine. Doesn't really matter that much. Then we will play out a Firebrand. And we're going to pass the turn. If they play a haste creature, we can block it and then shoot the Pyromancer with our Fanatical Firebrand. This electrostatic field's putting in work, though, that's for sure. Alright, well, we'll block here. And and trade off, that's fine. If they had been silly and tried to kill it with a burn spell, we could have then sacked it and killed that thing anyway. So Experimental Frenzy. I would like to get this Pyromancer on the board, but maybe Experimental Frenzy is just the better thing. Them stuck on 2. Nope, we're going to deploy our other Pyromancer. If we're super lucky, we'll draw a 1-drop next turn and be able to play it into Experimental Frenzy. And we are going to attack. If they block, then they block. Otherwise, we're getting in 2 free damage. Well, they're calling our bluff this time. That's fine. You never know if you can sneak it in if you don't try. Alright, I imagine that they just can't cast what's in their hand, stuck on 2 mountains as they are. Alright, I mean, that will work too. Let's go for Frenzy. Oh, can't play that off the top. We can get in for 2, though. As long as they don't have removal. Hopefully we don't have several lands in a row on top of our deck here, as that will shut off our Experimental Frenzy. Right, Lightning Strike to us. So they've got a lot of burn in their hand, apparently. Let's see, that's really bad. Play that out. There's a land, Steamkin. And I feel like we're about to get Guttersniped to death here. So it's not going to take very much to finish us off here. Just gotta cross our fingers and hope. Alright. So, we're pretty dead. We're gonna let you draw cards. Maybe you'll just draw some lands. I'm guessing that the field is a sideboard plan. If it is, it's a pretty good one, it feels like. Alright, no attacks. That's a little strange. Play our land, and we got a land on top, and we're pretty well dead. We'll swing with our Pyromancers. Get in for 2. And any burn spell at all gets us here. And that'll do it. Good game. Burn us to a cinder. Alright, so we're in the same boat as the first game of the last match. Again, though, I think this is worth risking. We are on the play this time, but 3 lava runners. Yeah, we're going to keep this. Mountain off the top would be amazing for us. Just would hate to mulligan this into a basically unkeepable 6. Well, it looks like we are in Mirror Match Central. I think we go for Shock. We could have also put out another Lava Runner, but I'd like to get in for 2. Come on, deck. Give me some land. Steamkin. We are facing so many mirror/semi-mirrors already. Yeah, we'll get in. Very much doubt that they were in the market to block there. Steamkin's one of the best cards in the deck. And it's even better when you have 2 of them. Lava Runner, looks like we may be up against an actual mirror here. No blocks. There's a land. Unfortunately, it's quite late for us. We'll go Pyromancer. Feel like we've just been put into a hole that we're not going to be able to get out of at this point. Really funny too, because in the 2 leagues that I've tested this, I have yet to face a mono red deck, and then the one that I boot into to record, that seems to be all there is so far. Alright, well, dead Pyromancer. Taken 7. Yep. We could mitigate some damage by chumping there. I just don't feel that that's a path to victory. Not that not blocking is likely to be a path to victory either. Well, they're running some number of Phoenixes in their deck. Okay, I think we're just going to go ahead and scoop it up and not show them any more of our deck. So, we want lava coils for sure. Fiery Cannonade seems potentially okay, but I don't think we want to bring it in against what they're doing here. They're likely to have pirates that this won't hit, just like that we do. Fight with Fire is a consideration. So it's Siege Gang Commander if we can get to the late game. Yeah, I think we're going to bring in 2 of the Fight with Fires. And then cut our Wizard's Lightning. That's just one more way for us to be able to kill a Steamkin that's big. And we will submit this. Well, deck. Well, we're not going to make the mistake this time. Ship it back. It's a little better. So sad going to 6 on the play versus the mirror. Well, at least they're going to 6 too, so we'll keep that. Oh, they're going to 5. Maybe we can win a game. Yeah, I'd like to have another Firebrand. Seems perfectly acceptable. Get off to a pretty aggressive start here. Alright, well, our Firebrands have targets on them, it seems, today. We'll go for Pyromancer. Really wish it would auto-target them as it's an opponent. Well, I guess it can hit a Planeswalker too, but there's no Planeswalker on the board at this point. Double Lava Runner. Well, Firebrand's not going to be doing a ton for us here. Let's attack first, see if they're willing to trade. Looks like they are. We'll play out our Firebrand. And pass the turn. We may be dropping Experimental Frenzy next turn. Right, here they hold back. I was going to say here they come, but that is not the case. We are definitely playing out our Frenzy. Hopefully we can ride it to victory. And hopefully there's not 3 lands in a row on top of our deck. Alright, well, I guess we shoot you in the face. That turns on their Lava Runner, so getting hit for 2. 1 card in hand. Another Frenzy. Again, very Ha deck. Alright. Well, that's something we can actually cast. Go ahead and shock. We'll strike and turn on our own Lava Runner. Maybe there's a 1-drop under there. There's not, but that's fine. That was a really good turn for us. Looks like they're going for our face, trying to race us here. Don't know if that's a winning strategy or not. Guess it just depends on... Guess it really just depends on how kind to us our deck is at this point. Alright. Steamkin, yes please. Fight with Fire, yes please. Second Steamkin that we can't cast. Get in for 2. Well, they have the answer to the Steamkin. Not going to be able to play that one since it's in our hand, but we've got a Shock. We've got a Pyromancer. We've got a Chain Whirler. And we're putting them to 2, and they're pretty well dead at this point. So they were looking at our Experimental Frenzy there. I wonder if they're a version that's sort of built like ours but doesn't have Experimental Frenzy in it. That would be interesting. We'll go ahead and resubmit this. Alright, this is a decent hand for once. Let's keep it. Hopefully it's enough. Firebrand from them. Wonder if it's worth it for us to play our Firebrand and kill their Firebrand. Probably not. I think we just drop Lava Runner here and hope to brick this. Right, Steamkin. I would really have loved to have drawn a burn spell there, but at least we do have Firebrand to answer that Steamkin, which we will definitely do, even though it's not the most mana efficient. We cannot let that thing live if we can help it. And we could attack. Yeah, I think we attack here. Maybe we can bait them into attacking. We have Chain Whirler for sure next turn. If they play another X1, then we can 2-for-1 them. They did not. I think we still do it, though. We do have a backup one in hand. Looks like Chain Whirler's eating a Wizard's Lightning. Okay. Get in there for another one. There's a Phoenix. So that can be problematic. So we could strike it, then it just comes back, because they're definitely not going to block. I think we're going to play out our Dismissive Pyromancer here, so that we can dig if we need to. Alright, looks like they're not defensive here. Another Phoenix. That's really, really bad. That's good, though. Let's play out that. And we're going to pass the turn. Right, killing that. Well, we're going to use it. We'll kill a Phoenix. Then we'll shoot the Elemental with it. Right, Lava Runner, it's big. I think we gotta trade at this point. Sorry, you're not going to be... Then again... We can use you to kill this next turn into Chain Whirler. They're empty-handed. We're going to take this. This could be a very bad call on our part, but I think it's our best bet. So let's go to combat. Going to swing with our Lava Runner and pass the turn. Alright, let's go to blocks. We're going to block here. We'll sacrifice this to kill the Phoenix. And it was a land. That's good for us. Chain Whirler to make sure Phoenix does not come back. And we'll get in there for one. Pyromancer. Alrighty. This is one defensive Chain Whirler at this point. We could Frenzy. I think we should just deploy what we have, though. There, Lava Runner. And I think we're going to sit back for a second. We're very close to dead. So Firebrand can do some work with the Pyromancer. Also a point of damage to our face, potentially. Let's go for Frenzy. Land on top into a 1-drop would be awesome. Well, that's not what we got. No attackers. Still counting on riding this to victory. And as long as they keep drawing lands, I think that may be possible. Alright, Pyromancer. And Pyromancer. Lightning Strike. We're gonna set a stop on our upkeep because we can cast that when we untap. We're gonna swing with our Pyromancer now. If they trade with anything, we're perfectly fine with that. Alright, choose to take the damage, and unless something untoward happens, I think we've got this. So we're going to strike their face. That will make our lava runners big. We'll go to our turn. We've got a shock. Send that upstairs too. Oh, we're not in the main. Got a Firebrand, and that is the game. Even without the Firebrand, it was the game. Alright, I think we keep this. Was really afraid there in the last match that we were about to start off with 2 losses, but getting a win under our belt makes us feel a little bit better. We'll go Steamkin. Looks like we're up against black-green, Golgari. I mean, they could be splashing a 3rd color, but we'll just have to see. Elves, sure. Well, we've got the antidote to that foresty boy. Grow our Steamkin and get in there. Right, another elf. Into Wild Growth Walker. That thing is a problem. Let's see, we could go ahead and drop Frenzy, but I think getting big Steamkins online is a very good idea. Yep, please give me counters. Thank you very much. And there. Let's go attacking. Hopefully they aren't going to untap and explore a dozen times here. That would probably just be game over for us, unfortunately. Wild Growth Walker is a big issue for this deck. If it's played in such a manner that allows us to kill it, then it's not so bad. But we didn't have that option this time. Well, they mill, draw a land. They're going to gain 6 life, and this is going to get big. Well, they did exactly what I asked them not to. How rude. Maybe Frenzy can pull us out of this and we can outpace their life gain. It's very unlikely, though, in all honesty. Let's make some mana. Play out another Steamkin. 3 Steamkins will help, I guess, as far as mana generation, as long as we don't hit a dozen lands in a row. Still may not be enough. Wizard's Lightning. So if there's another Wizard's Lightning, we can kill this. Don't know if we can risk that, though. Let's make some mana before we cast this. We'll go ahead and hit you. There's a shock. Let's shock ya. Taking a risk. Oh, I forgot to make mana. Damn it. Well, that's going to get it anyway. Let's make some mana. And we could have made more mana. I'm silly. Well, there's nothing left. Well, that thing's gone. There's nothing left on top, so I guess it wasn't too awfully bad. We've got 2 big Steamkins. So let's... We could attack. I think we're just going to pass the turn. Would not like one of my Steamkins to die. Well, everything's going to die, it looks like. So, sure. At least their side of the board died too. Lava Runner, absolutely. Lightning Strike, thank you very much. Unfortunately, we don't have the mana for that. Experimental Frenzy, though, so good. Alright, Chupacabra. Another Frenzy. Well, we kind of have to play that if we want to have a chance to play anything else. Also insulates us for enchantment removal. Firebrand, yep, we'll pass the turn. Seeker Squire, you got it. Assassin's Trophy, well, like I said, that insulates us here. Interested to see if they keep that, actually. Looks like they are in the market for it. We're not going to be blocking. Going to try to amass a board state that gives us the win. Go for Dismissive Pyromancer. Land drop. The Ashino Pyromancer. So many Pyromancers in this deck, right? Hit you in the face. Lava Runner. Gonna shock you. Then shoot ya. And opponent has had enough. Sweet. Seemed like we were about to be buried under a Wild Growth Walker there. Just got lucky enough to be able to deal with it. So, we want to bring in all of our big removal here. We want Lava Coils, we want all of the Fight with Fires. Unfortunately, it's not enough on its own to kill a Doom Whisperer, but it's better than nothing. Banefire's a consideration. Again, I think we want to cut Wizard's Lightning, just because we're never guaranteed to be able to cast it for 1. We could also cut a Lightning Strike and just go with better removal in the form of Lava Coils and Fight with Fires. Bring in Banefires, like I said. Chain Whirler's alright in this matchup. I think we are going to cut 1 Lightning Strike, and I'm going to leave the Banefires in the board. Generally, you want these versus counter spells, so this seems fine. Yep, this hand is perfectly fine. It's tempting to wait to play a 1-drop until we have Steamkin on board, but I think that's a mistake. We will definitely be keeping this. Hopefully we won't get flooded. 4 lands is quite good. If we could draw just gas from here on out, that would be awesome. And opponent has mulligan to 6, so that could help us. Duress. I don't think Duress is a good card to bring in versus a red aggressive deck. I mean, I know we do have instants and sorceries and such, but just doesn't seem great to me. Of course, who knows? Maybe they have Duress main. Llanowar Elves, sure. We're probably just going to kill that. So let's play our Steamkin. And we'll shoot the elf. Try to slow them down. Would be nice if they were depending on that to be able to cast their stuff in the hand they kept. Nope, they have a Moment of Craving. No 3rd land drop, so killing the elf was quite good for us. We could go Lava Runner into Lightning Strike, but I think over the long run that Lava Runner into Pyromancer is going to just be a bit better. Get more of a board presence. Wild Growth Walker. Well, glad we didn't use up our Lightning Strike. And we could grow this. I think we want to hold the shock in case of a Jade Light Ranger so that we can kill it with the Explorer on the stack. Also feels important for us to keep the way clear for our little guys to keep pounding in. There's the Jade Light we spoke about. And we do want to kill it before they get the Explorer triggers so it doesn't outgrow us. That'll make our Lava Runner big. Alright, there's a Wild Growth Walker on top. Well, that Walker may be hard to deal with if we can't draw removal, especially if they have some Explore going on still. Yep, there it is. That is not what we were looking for. So we're going to go to combat, and I'm going to swing with the Lava Runner. They probably are going to block, but we're going to try to get in a couple of free damage. They have a moment of craving, so never mind, I suppose. Go ahead and shoot them. Hopefully this is not an Explorer creature in their hand. We're going to pass the turn and hold the mountain. Vraska. That is potentially really bad.
You should leave.
What we would like to see is for them to tick her down to kill something, and then us draw removal for this Walker so that we could also kill her. But nope, they're ticking up. Drawing a card, gaining a life. That makes her a lot harder to deal with, and they got a land drop out of it. Steamkin, huh? Okay, still just banking on them not having any more Explore. We're not going to sacrifice our Pyromancers. We're just going to pass the turn here. All right, so they're in on killing the Steamkin. There's Explore. That's what I was hoping to avoid. Into an Overgrown Tomb. Yep. This is not going to work out well for us. Also, playing out land there, you never really want to hold more than one land in your hand. One land you can always play the next turn. Two lands, then you're going to be stuck, and if you need the extra mana, then that's just too bad. We're going to take this for now. Lightning Strike. Alright, well their life total's pretty high. They showed themselves willing to block before, so maybe they'll be willing to block again if I threaten Vraska. Looks like they're not.
You'll regret that.
Well, we'll hold the Lightning Strike for now. They're making a lot of land drops at this point. Right, tapping for mana, sacking to Vraska.
Nothing else matters.
Hopefully they'll draw a blank. Big Vraska, that's pretty bad. I think we're getting into the position that we can no longer pull this out now. They're making a bunch of blockers. And Wild Growth Walkers wading into the fray. Alright. Think we're going to go to my turn. We could have killed this. Yeah, this game is over. The only way I see us getting out of this at this point is if we draw an Experimental Frenzy immediately next turn. I think what we're going to do is pressure Big Vraska. Yep, trading off there. And we'll Lightning Strike Small Vraska. We're not in a position to be able to wait for another burn spell to deal with Wild Growth Walker, unfortunately. And we can't let both of those just stay on the board and grind us into oblivion if we want to have even a chance of getting back into this. Right, choosing to just wipe our board at this point. Frenzy? That's not what that is. Yep. We're not technically completely dead here, but we're pretty dead. So unless we draw Frenzy this turn, it is over. They have Lethal on board. And that's not going to do it. I mean, we could block, but they're going to get us in the end. Good game, opponent. Alright, so that was some unfortunate flooding there. Makes me think Banefire might be good, but I think that that's just results-based thinking. I do think we've sideboarded correctly, or at least somewhere close to correctly. Let's go ahead and resubmit. Oh, deck, what is it with you today in giving me one land hands? We're on the play. Again, this hand is awesome if we draw a land. I just don't think we should risk it. Alright, well, I'm not throwing back this 6. To the bottom, please. Looking for a land. We'll go with Firebrand and swing. And Elves, probably going to kill that. Yep, definitely going to kill that. Kind of funny me trying to stifle their mana production when we're stuck on one land ourselves. Yep, Squire. Hit a land, please. Nope, big Squire. Squire's a lot better versus us than Branchwalker is. That is for certain. That 3 toughness is huge. There's a land. So let's go Lava Runner, Lava Runner. And pass the turn. A little bit surprised they milled that. Maybe they don't have a 3rd land drop in hand. Don't know if they drew that or if they were holding it. All right, you coming in? Nope. Just passing the turn. That's fine. Shock's good. Let's try to do that. Then we'll shoot you for the last point. Using a lot of resources here, unfortunately. I don't really think we have much of an option. We'll get in for 3. I think what we would like to see is not Moment of Craving, but really what we would like to see is 2 mountains in a row so that we can Experimental Frenzy. What we would really have liked is not to have to mulligan that hand. Find Broker. Yep, going to get back a Squire. There's land number 1 in our plan. Let's pass the turn. Well, bye-bye to Experimental Frenzy. So maybe Duress is worth bringing in to get rid of Experimental Frenzy. It just feels really bad to me versus red aggressive decks. And Wild Growth Walker, yeah, this game is over. Don't really know of anything that we could draw over the next few turns that would let us not lose. Guess land into Frenzy and them bricking. Right, gonna get hit for a lot. No blocks. Yep. And the Squire, so immediately triggering Wild Growth Walker. Yeah, there's nothing I can really do to stop that. There's an Assassin's Trophy, so even if we hit a Frenzy, they can just deal with it. Overall, today has just not been our day. At least so far. Maybe we can turn that around. We'll pass. No use suiciding our troops. Yeah. Find for just 1 creature. I guess that's fine. Not that they really needed it, but that will grow their Wild Growth Walker that much more, and another Explorer on top. We're just going to scoop it up. There's no use in us sitting here and getting grounded to oblivion. Good game, opponent. Alrighty, well, a very inauspicious start. Guess we'll jump back in and hope for better matchups and better draws. Alright, Dak, looks like you are still in this mode. We're going to risk it again. We've got Lava Runner, which turns on Wizard's Lightning. That is, as long as it doesn't die. Come on, Dak, be good to us for once. One land, that's all we're asking for. One land. Well, that's not what that is. Let's attack. So, green-blue on the opponent's side. That could be Turbo Fog. Hopefully not. Nope. Looks like Sultai. We're going to lightning their face at the end of turn then. And we'll shock. Save our lightning for potential creature kill. Get in for 2. Alright, they're stuck on 2 lands. That seems a lot worse for them than it is for us. Let's attack for 2. Go Pyromancer. The Viashino variety. And maybe we're going to pull this out. Scavenger, well, that's going to gain them some life. We do have removal for it, though, so that's good. Another mountain would be ideal. We could go Pyromancer into kill this. Yep, eating their Doom Whisperer there. I imagine they want to do that. Yep, gain some life. Well, that'll work too. Shock it. Shock the Death Gorger as opposed to shock the Monkey. Get in there for 4. We'll hold up Wizard's Lightning. Thief of Sanity, that's fine. That is game over then. To your face. And to your face. Okay. So, looking like either Sultai Midrange or Sultai Control. I'm not sure which. I don't know that we saw enough of their deck to dictate what we should bring in. Legion Warboss could be good if they are Control. So could Risk Factor. I think we're going to hedge by bringing in... these 3. If they have some smaller creatures lower on the curve, we're going to be a little upset, but I think we're fine cutting the shocks. If we see something more threatening, then if we see that they are a little bit lower curve, we can bring them back in. Maybe we want to bring in a Lava Coil or a Fight with Fire or a Banefire. They do have blue, so they could have counter spells. Let's bring in 1 Banefire. We'll see how that does. Alright, we're on the draw this time. Warboss is good. They mulligan to 6. I think we're going to keep this. Kind of sad to see 2 Frenzies in the opening hand. But if we get to curve Pyromancer into Warboss, that is considering if they're Control or whatever, then that could be great for us. That does require our deck to present us with a 3rd land, which we're not sure it will at this point. It's not been super cooperative this morning. Alright, playing tap stuff. 3rd Frenzy is not great unless they counterspell the first 2. And then it is great. Go ahead and Pyromancer to the face, and now we want that 3rd land, Dak, please. This would be the time for you to give us a mountain. Alright, well, Pyromancer's dying. Deadweight makes me think they are Control. Hopefully they won't have an Essence Scatter or a Syncopate here. We're going to try for the Warboss. And it looks like they don't. Also would be awesome if they don't have removal. Well, looks like they do, but at least we get left with a Goblin since they let us go to attacks, which I think is a bug of the game. It should not automatically go to attacks when they could kill the Warboss prior to that happening. I've had that happen to me. Alright, Chupacabra eating our goblin. Seems like not a great use of Chupacabra, to be honest, but I guess if it's what you've got to play, then that's what you do. So one more mountain lets us start trying to resolve frenzies, though we may want to go Chain Whirler and Wizard's Lightning previously to that. Well, they do have pretty much infinite removal. They're not putting a ton of pressure on us though, so that gives us time. Perhaps we just want to resolve Frenzy while they're tapped out. I think we're going to do that. Hopefully we get some gas coming up under the lava runner here. Well, there's another war boss. And looks like we're getting in there and it's not dying. Awesome. Well, they've got another Chupacabra, sure. Would love to actually play one more land here. We could arrange that, please, Dak. Now they have a more significant clock. Well, there's the land. Please don't be another one in under it. All right, Dak. Let's pass the turn. I guess we're defensive now. We could blow up this frenzy so that we could play stuff from our hand. I think we're probably better off just counting on it not screwing us over the next couple of turns. Right, they thought about holding back. We are not going to block. They are stuck on 4. If we don't get anything going, we may be in blocking mode next turn, just depending. Alright, nothing else from the opponent. Risk factor. Sure. I imagine they'll let us draw here. Yep. Alright, there's that. And risk factor. Sure. Nothing else to be doing, really. Let's discard a frenzy. Alright, so now we can mold our hand a little bit here. We are going to be blocking. I would like to make a land drop next turn, so we want to keep one land. I think we want to get rid of Pyromancer. Land. Chain Whirler. And Lightning Strike. And then we may be in the market to pop this Experimental Frenzy. That's kind of why I was sculpting as I was. All right, let's block. All right, Wizard's Lightning. It's going to cost 3. Let's try to kill a Chupacabra. Then we've got our land drop. Yep, we'll try for a Chain Whirler. Resolves. And we're stuck now. Looks like they've got removal for our Chain Whirler. Yep, in the form of Contempt. And we're still just on the ragged edge here. We'll discard the Wizard's Lightning. Doom Whisperer, huh? That's probably really bad. Things have not worked out very well for us this game. They seem to be much more mid-rangey than controlling at this point. See, we could pay 4. Pop that. We don't have the stuff it needs to kill this, and it's going to kill us. So, Pyromancer. There's a Banefire. That's also not going to get it done. See. Down to 3. Let's Banefire for 0. Steamkin. Probably also not going to do it. Into Steamkin, yep, and that is the game. Let's hope for a better game 3. Alright, we didn't see any counterspells from them. That doesn't mean they're not running them. However, with what they had going on, perhaps it's better for us to cut our Wizard's Lightnings, since casting that for 3 is just not great for us. We'll do that. We'll bring in the other Banefire, and bring in our Fight with Fires as well, as those can team up with a Firebrand or another burn spell to kill a Doom Whisperer. Also, late in the game can just be 10 damage to their face. Deck. Oh, we're gonna mulligan. Alright, that's better. I have not had this problem with draws previously. Sure, that seems fine. Go Firebrand. Into hit you for 1. Right, tap, that seems fine. We'll go Lava Runner and hit you for 1 again. Alright, Lava Runner's getting the hard look by the opponent. Looks like it is dead weighted. Into Memorial. Memorial's a good card. Let's get attacking. We'll hold these lightning strikes in case we need to kill something. Like that. If you let Thief of Sanity hit you, you're pretty well going to lose the game. If it hits you more than once, you're almost certainly going to lose the game. Alright, so I think we're going to Lightning Strike into potentially Experimental Frenzy next turn. Although, again, we may just want to resolve this while we can. Yeah, let's do that, just in case they are running counterspells. It didn't work out for us last turn. It didn't work out for us last game, but maybe it will this time. Chupacabra, sure. We've got a Chain Whirler coming into our hands, so we're not going to be able to cast it. Warboss is fine. We are potentially going to have to suicide a Goblin token, unfortunately. Right, they're hitting their land drops, so we could see a Doom Whisperer this turn. If they attack here, they are almost certainly casting something. Or just Moment of Craving before they attack. That will work too. Right, Fight with Fire. Well, we're certainly going to cast it. And another Chain Whirler. The top of our deck is not being very generous to us, is it? Blind Broker getting back Chupacabra. I think that's your only target, isn't it? Nope, Thief of Sanity too. Nope, they chose the Chupacabra. Fine. Do we hit them in the face or do we hit this thing? I think we hit this thing. That's not going to finish it. Then we've got Lava Runner, which gets hasty so it can attack. And if they block, it's going to die. So I guess that works out. Hopefully they don't have another one of these in hand so that they can just chain them back and forth. Ooh, choosing not to block maybe. They certainly thought about it. Ritual of Soot. Okay, that's a little unfortunate. Land. Aha. Well, pass it back, I guess. Could have popped the Frenzy and played our Chain Whirler. Again, I think our best bet of winning is riding the Frenzy. If the RNG will cooperate with us, that is. That's a lot of lands in a row. Pass the turn. Just getting beat in the face by Golgari Findbroker. Well, at this point, they just want to get more damage on the board. Can't say as I blame them. We're just sitting here spinning our wheels. Uh-huh. The deck is having fun with us, instead of us having fun with the deck. Alright, let's kill something. Okay, well, I mean, that worked out okay for us. Looks like our Steamkin's gonna die. Yep, it is cast down. Come on, deck. Land. Alright, Firebrand. Pyromancer, we're also 1 mana off of kicking a fight with fire. To the face. Chain Whirler. Bane Fire for 1. Pyromancer. Now, risk factor is not the greatest of cards to have once an Experimental Frenzy's out. How many cards we got left? 25? Alright. Firebrand getting contempted. Makes me feel like it's very likely they don't have another Ritual of Soot then. Hopefully that's the case. Also, if this Pyromancer survives, we can start filtering the top of our deck a little bit if we run into a roadblock. Well, there's another Chupacabra. Looks like they're eating Chain Whirler. I think they should really be more concerned about the Pyromancer, to be honest. Looks like they are. More removal. Looks like no. Oh, there's our land drop. And there is a big Banefire. Almost a lethal Banefire. Yeah, we should probably just cast that. And we'll swing with this Pyromancer and hold back the other one. Alright, feeling a little bit better about our situation. They really should have contempted this thing before they passed the turn to us. They gave us a real chance of being able to get through a block in the top of our deck there. See, they can sack this and recur something if they want to. Not sure what would be great. I guess Find Broker. They could cast it and recur something else. Yep, there's the Find Broker. Probably getting back a Chupacabra. Yep, that is what's going on. Oh, there's some damage. Lava Runner. Lava Runner. Firebrand. And Lightning Strike. Alright, we got there. Alright, a good hand for once. Let's keep it. Ooh, that's a nice island there. I like that art. Let's go for Firebrand. Get in there. Alright, probably going to take our Steamkin. Yep. Opponent knows what they're doing. Lightning Strike is fine. Let's flood the board. Try to get in as much damage as we can as quickly as possible. Alright, bye-bye Lightning Strike. See, they didn't put anything last time, but they milled a land that time. Alright, little do they know, they actually kinda helped us here. Not in actuality, I would like to have the Lightning Strike, but our Lava Runners are now big in haste, so that is a plus. Please no Ritual of Soot. That would really wreck our day. Hostage Taker, I mean, we'll deal with it, I guess. Would like to draw something to kill it. Not exactly what we were looking for. Let's get in there with a Lava Runner. Didn't expect them to block. That would allow them, that would put them in death range of Fanatical Firebrand. This Frenzy could be really good if we could get it to resolve. Need a land for that, though. Golden Demise, huh? Guess we're shooting you in the face. Then they get to resolve the Firebrand and hit us in the face. Oh, I'm stupid. I could have killed the Hostage Taker. Oh. I forgot the Golden Demise hits their side too. And then they wouldn't have gotten our Lava Runner. That was really silly of me. So used to people, when they cast that, having the City's Blessing to where it only hits our side. Alright, deck, give me another land before they rip this last Experimental Frenzy out of my hand, please. There we go. No Syncopate. Awesome. Is it getting bounced? Looks like. Okay. Well, hopefully that mistake has not just cost us this game. It very likely could have, though. Go for the Frenzy. Nope, they have a Sabotage. So they have a 3-turn clock on us at this point. Land number 5. Land for us as well. See, let's play that out just to play around a potential syncopate. Try to get in there. Down to 3. Another hostage taker. Well, that is the game. I feel like our mistake cost us that one. Alright, so they have hostage takers. It's good to know. With hostage takers, I think Lava Coil probably is good. So is Banefire. Don't know about Fight with Fire. We don't know if they're running Doom Whisperers or anything big like that. Legion Warboss could also be good. We know they're playing Golden Demise. I think we want Lava Coils. I think we want Banefires. I think we want to cut either Shock or Wizard's Lightning. Probably Shock, since they have the hostage takers, because even at 3 mana, Wizard's Lightning is fine to remove a hostage taker. Legion Warboss could be decent. Though less so, I guess, with Golden Demise. They could even be running Ritual of Soot. Yeah, I think we're just going to go with this for right now. Back to this, are we? Well, ship it back. Alright, that's better. Another Firebrand, sure. Maybe I should have bottomed that. We do want to hit a 3rd land for these. Well, we knew you were coming, so let's get you onto the board. Yep. Chain Whirler, probably. Yep. Bye-bye. Looks like they milled a Blink. Well, we've got the mana for Wizard's Lightning now, so that's good. It looks like nothing. We'll hold this lightning for the moment. Second one. Probably start casting them now. We don't want to get so gummed up that we can't finish the game for lack of mana. Sure. Blink really didn't slow us down too much there. It has haste after all. If they want to spend a counterspell on a Fanatical Firebrand, I'm perfectly fine with that. Alright, looks like they're digging. And they didn't mill anything over. They're playing a lot of Blink of an Eyes, aren't they? Thoughtbound Phantasm, sure. Let's go ahead and kill that sucker. Yeah, land is fine, though we would like to get some more permanent sources of damage on the board. We're getting really close to just burning them out, so we may just play this Wizard's Lightning. I'm gonna try to kill this again. Want our Firebrands to be able to keep swinging in if possible. Alright, Sabotage is going to grow to a 3. We still have removal for it, though. Though wasting this on killing creatures is kinda detrimental. Especially when we're just not drawing any more gas. But I think we need to. Turn after turn damage vastly outpaces burst damage in most cases. We're going to hold this for a bluff. Maybe we can get them to play another Thought Erasure for 0 value. Or not much value. Alright, Hostage Taker. More removal would be nice. That is not what that is. We'll hit you in the face, I guess. And Thief of Sanity, sure. And all the lands ever. If this hits something worth having, then that's probably going to be game over for us. Can't see it. Alright, well, we got him to do that. Not that it's really going to matter at this point, the way things are going. Alrighty. Well, I will take the blame for game one. I certainly threw that away by not killing the hostage taker, but in this one, I don't know that there's much else that I could have done. I mean, certainly could have misplayed there and just not noticed it, but... Alright, deck. Well, if you want to apologize, then give me a Banefire. Well, we're really close to dead. And if they hit a burn spell that can target me off of Thief of Sanity, then we're certainly dead. And we're dead. Well, certainly not the greatest of sessions that we've ever had. Between my play mistake and maybe even more that I just haven't noticed, maybe I'll notice them during editing, and the RNG just really not cooperating with us, we didn't really get to see this deck do its thing, which I guess a couple of times we resolved an experimental frenzy and really went off, so that gives you some idea of what it's trying to do. In general, this is not my kind of deck, but I had most of the cards for it, and a lot of people do like to play this type of deck. Also, it's great to know that it is in the field and can be a potential opponent that you're going to have to face in the future. As always, there will be a link in the description to the deck list in an exportable fashion if you would like to check that out for yourself. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, let me know in the comments and by leaving a like below. It really does help tremendously. And of course, subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. I have been Tevaron, and until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.